Well, the world thought this year's biggest diplomatic theatre would be Trump meeting Putin on American soil. But then came the elephant-dragon tango. But can the two proud sovereigns dance without stepping on each other's toe? Well, that's the biggest question. Indeed, analysts spent weeks speculating on the outcome of August Alaska Summit. But it ultimately ended without any real breakthrough. That's why now the real diplomatic theatre will be unfolding in Tianjin, China. The road to peace may lead through India, but Asia holds the key to the future. Why? Because just India and China make up for almost 1/7 of the whole world. And while these Asian powers have been clashing over influence, the game has changed with Donald Trump upending the entire table. Well, Prime Minister Narendra Modi's impending visit to China for the SCO Summit represents far more than a routine multilateral engagement. It stands as potentially the most significant diplomatic moment in India-China relations since the Galwan Valley clashes in 2020, which fundamentally altered the trajectory of bilateral ties. This marks PM Modi's first visit to China in over 7 years, coming at a time when both nations find themselves navigating an increasingly complex geopolitical landscape marked by American protectionism and shifting global allegiances. The timing of this visit cannot be separated from the broader strategic context. Just as Trump's administration imposed punitive 50% tariffs on Indian goods, Prime Minister Modi finds himself walking into what many see as a calculated diplomatic opportunity. China's invitation, extended personally by Xi Jinping, signals Beijing's recognition that the cost of continued confrontation may now outweigh the benefits, particularly as both nations face economic pressure and need for regional stability. The groundwork for this potential reset has been meticulously laid through recent diplomatic exchange. Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi's visit to Delhi in August 2025 marked a crucial turning point, where he engaged in extensive discussions with External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar and also held a significant meeting with PM himself. The emergence of three mutual frameworks, which are mutual respect, mutual sensitivity, and mutual interest during these talks, represent a new diplomatic vocabulary designed to replace the harsh rhetoric that has come to define the post-Galwan period. But the biggest question is, can this visit truly reset India-China ties? Well, the answer is nuanced and lies in understanding what reset means in the context of two powers with fundamental strategic differences. If reset implies a return to the pre-2020 status quo of managed competition with expanding economic cooperation, then the prospects appear cautiously optimistic. In fact, the recent agreements on resuming direct flights, gradual restoration of people-to-people contacts, and the formation of new working groups on boundary issues suggest that both sides are investing in sustainable engagement mechanisms. However, if reset means resolving the underlying structural tensions that drive India-China competition, then expectations must be tempered by reality. The fundamental contradiction remains stark. While both nations pursue tactical cooperation, the strategic competition continues to intensify. In fact, China's ongoing infrastructure development along the line of actual control and India's deepening security partnership with the US creates structural pressure that no single summit can eliminate. Then there is also China's expansionist approach based on historical maps they claim represent their territory. Well, what this visit can realistically achieve is the institutionalization of dialogue mechanism that prevents tactical disagreements from escalating into strategic crisis. The existing frameworks include the special representation talks, the working mechanism for consultation and coordination, and senior military commander meetings, which have proven their worth in crisis management but still remains insufficient for crisis resolution. Modi's visit offers an opportunity to strengthen these mechanisms and create new ones that can function independently of political weather changes in either capitals. Now, the economic dimension of this potential reset cannot be overlooked. China's recent assurances to address India's concern over rare earth exports, fertilizers, and tunnel boring machines signals Beijing's willingness to offer tangible economic incentives alongside political dialogue. For India grappling with American trade pressure, Chinese market access and supply chain reliability represents significant strategic assets that cannot be easily dismissed. The domestic political dimension adds another layer to complexities to Modi's calculation. Indian public sentiment towards China has hardened dramatically since Galwan, with surveys showing historically low favorable ratings. Modi's challenge lies in managing this domestic skepticism while pursuing pragmatic engagement. PM's recent messaging strategy emphasizing sovereignty and territorial integrity as non-negotiable while creating space for cooperation suggests a carefully calibrated approach designed to maintain domestic credibility while enabling diplomatic progress. The broader implications of this visit extend beyond bilateral relations to India's vision of strategic autonomy in a multipolar world. Modi's willingness to engage with China, even as India strengthens ties through initiatives like Quad and AUKUS partnerships, demonstrates India's commitment to maintaining independent sovereign policy options. Ultimately, Modi's visit to China for the SCO Summit represents not a reset in a dramatic sense, but rather a recalibration, an attempt to establish guardrails around competition while identifying areas for limited cooperation. Success will be measured not in grand gestures or breakthrough agreements, but in the mundane work of dialogue, managing crises before they escalate and creating predictable parameters for engagement between the two giants. Well, the elephant and dragon may not become friends, but they can learn to dance without stepping on each other's toes. And sometimes in diplomacy, that's well enough.